Welcome to the Naked Relationship Podcast. I'm Adam, and it's just going to be me today. Kelley is still dealing with some emotional stuff, and so work has just been fucking crazy. Normally, she loves her job. However, here lately, she's just been kind of stressed with it and going through a lot and some other stuff. So with that being said, don't forget to follow us on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TNR Podcasts. That's plural. And send her a message on Instagram. She's the one who does the majority of the Instagram. I've been helping out a little bit here in recent weeks. Not really too much, but feel free to shoot her a message. Let her know that you're thinking of her and hope she is feeling better. So with that being said, let's give a major shout out to altplayground.net. So you guys remember how in all the other Alt Playground ads that we've done, we say that they're progressive and they really want to push the ball forward in a progressive, positive way. Well, here's another example of that. Alt Playground announced in September that they have acquired Love Voodoo. And so the merge has been completed. And so now over 500,000 former Love Voodoo members have been granted trial memberships with Alt Playground. So all of those new people now have access to Alt Playground to meet you guys and all the current members. And so the Alt Playground community just grew potentially by 500,000. And for those of you who don't know, Alt Playground is working hard to bring lifestylers and non-monogamous people together in one convenient and fun place. This means even more sexy people for you to connect with across the United States. So out of that 500,000 people, that is a lot of people that are potentially coming to altplayground.net. And I'm excited about it. It's going to make my experience better. That's going to make your experience better on Alt Playground. And don't forget, you can check out lots of content on altplayground.net, whether that is the video corner, the podcast corner, where you can listen to our podcast on there while you're trying to find your next sexy play date. You have conferences that are announced, events, and a bunch of other stuff. So please check out altplayground.net. You'll be happy that you did because we're happy that we did. So, all right. So now we're going to get into this week's Twitter poll. And it's kind of an interesting one. It's kind of maybe a taboo topic, even in a taboo lifestyle, if you will. I don't know if I really like the idea of calling it taboo, but for mainstream people, swinging is taboo. But regardless. So the Twitter poll is, would you ever consider playing without a condom with partners that are not your significant others? And the answers, the four possible answers were yes, no, yes with negative test results, and maybe with negative test results. So it's interesting to me that this was pretty well split if you take both of the yes answers and combine them and both of the no answers and combine them. And so the two yes answers got a 48.6%. And the no answers got 51.3%. So that's pretty interesting. It's pretty even, pretty even. It's a lot narrower than I guess I would have thought going into this. And so I don't know. It's something that has been more of a topic of recent within our own relationship, Kelley and I. And we're not there yet. We both fantasize about, she's got a fantasy where she really just wants to fuck someone raw that isn't me. And I want to be able to have sex with women, well, sex in general, without using a condom for a multitude of reasons. One, because eating pussy after latex, it's like, I just don't like the taste of latex, but I'm still going to eat that pussy. Don't get me wrong. The other part of it is not because like it doesn't feel as good or anything like that, but I don't know. I just wish STIs and STDs were not a thing, but we don't live in a perfect world. However, I have told Kelley that if she feels comfortable with a certain individual, like really comfortable, like she knows them, she trusts them a lot, not first date type of thing, that I would be comfortable with that. And another thing is when it comes to like a threesome with her and I and potentially another gentleman, I really want to pull his dick out of her pussy and taste her pussy on his cock. I think that would be hot as shit. And Kelley would love for me to, quote unquote, clean her up by licking the cum out of her pussy. And she thinks that would be hot. But I completely understand why condoms are completely necessary. And I'm not complaining. I think that they are great at what they are designed to do. That is keep us safe. However, Kelley and I, we started out kind of strange. Our first night together, we met at the store where I worked at, and we were just gonna like meet up, maybe grab some covfefe or whatever. And we ended up going to Walmart because she was about to graduate college, and she wanted to get some stuff to decorate her cap and gown with. And so we're in the parking lot at that Walmart, and we start making out, and she starts biting my lip, and that is still a huge fucking turn on for me. And I told her, I was like, hey, if you keep biting my lip, we're gonna go back to my place and we're gonna fuck. So we kept making out. She bit my lip. I immediately pulled away, turned the car on, and was like, let's go back to my place. And she's like, do you have condoms? And I'm like, fuck. So we stopped and got some condoms. So we got like a box of 3, and which at this point, I hadn't been able to do my marathon sex sessions in like years. And so I only bought 3 condoms from the store. And so we used all 3 of those. I don't want to say fairly quickly because then it seems like it didn't last long. But we went for 8 hours that night. We only used 3 condoms, or we only used a condom 3 times, used them all, and then we just said, fuck it, I'm fucking you raw. And so since then, I think I've only used a condom on Kelley 2 or 3 times. And it's different now because we're married and we've been together for almost 4 years. But, you know, that first night we were both risking a lot. But, you know, there's always those fantasies and those desires. And I feel like if you can do it in a trusted environment where you trust the individual, you know them in and out kind of scenario, then I'm okay with it. And I also think that comfort levels could be aided by negative test results. I'm actually, after I record this and edit this podcast, I actually have to go get tested. Not because I have symptoms or anything, but just because it's precautionary and it's a great thing to do. So I strongly feel like if Kelley went on like a potential play date with someone and they said, hey, here's my negative test results from like last week or this week or whatever, I would be comfortable with her playing without a condom, you know. And when you flip that around, she's got a little bit more reservations about it than I do. And I'm not going to like push that issue. That's a comfort level that is there for a good reason. You know, I'm not going to push it, but I do think that eventually I would love to find a couple or some individual play dates that we can go condom free with, because there are a few people that I strongly trust in this lifestyle, or that we've met in this lifestyle, that I know wouldn't lie about certain things. And in the swinger group that we're in, you have to provide negative test results. Condoms aren't mandatory in the swinger group at the parties, but we still use them. And it's just kind of one of those where it's safe. It's better for everyone. But at the same time, that play partner that I've been seeing, this wonderful female, she has approached me about not wearing a condom. And she's used the excuse of, well, I've only played with you since, or I've only been with you other than my husband. But at the same time, that's well and good and everything. But we don't know if she had a pre-existing infection or not that just was asymptomatic. We don't know if her husband has contracted anything, because her husband goes out and plays as well on his own. And so as much as I would love to play with this wonderful lady without a condom, it's not going to happen for a while, if at all. So I don't know. I think that condoms would be great to not be such a necessity. But hey, we live in an imperfect world with imperfect infections. So I don't know. It's just, I would love, as I'm sure the majority of you all would, but hey, it's there. We got to protect ourselves. And so with that being said, that's the Twitter poll for the week. And don't really have a huge thing to talk about here lately, but I do want to kind of get into a specific topic that has been interesting to me, and that is picture sharing. So last week, or the episode before that, I talked about how face pictures are kind of a requirement for us to gauge interest levels, but they're not for everyone else. One thing that I kind of wanted to flip it around, or at least think about it in a different way. So when I'm on dating sites and I'm trying to figure out like if I'm into this person or persons, I always like scroll through their photos to see, okay, like yes, no, I'm not really feeling the vibe. I read the bios, but I might not necessarily be into it. But when it comes to photos, there's always the option, it seems like, to request access to private photos. And for me, I fucking hate when people lead off with no message, just a request to see our private photos. It's like, really? Just fucking go to like Pornhub or Google nudity images, you know, like don't waste my fucking time if you're not even going to send me a fucking message. That's kind of I'm a non-confrontational person, but I almost want to say fuck you to those people sometimes. because that's the way it comes across. That's the way I interpret it. If I am wrong, let me know. And if you can convince me or help me see the other side of it, by all means, I will admit that I was wrong. But when it comes to requesting access to people, I cannot, I hate when it gets done to me. So when I accidentally do it, I send that account a message and say, hey, I am so sorry. I did not mean to. I hate when people do that to me. I just feel it's disrespectful. Things like that. But every now and then, people will send you a message that says, hey, I'm so-and-so. I've opened up my pics and would appreciate it if you did too. That's a little bit better. I don't know. It's still kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost along the same lines. It's instead of like just cold cock. I mean, I don't want to say cold cocking, but just leading off with just a request is like, fuck you. But like when you include a pasted message, it makes you feel a little bit better. It makes you feel like, oh, this person actually might want to have a conversation. But I've learned that the majority of those don't really turn into anything, whether that's for various reasons, such as Kelley works nights and is almost dead to the world when she's not working. So the messages always are coming from me and not from her, even in the kick chats. So I don't know. There's a plethora of reasons, but I've learned that those don't really materialize into anything. And then, I don't know, it's almost like one is good, but one is not. But they're both along the same lines, it seems like. Such as when it comes to, you sending the message, I don't know. It's almost like I kind of take the approach of if I want to see you naked, I'm going to have to wait until you feel comfortable enough to grant that to me. Such as a random message with, hey, I liked what I saw. Here's a nude, whatever. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it, whatever. But I learned pretty early on, don't ever ask for nudes. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to say I don't want to say it's a disrespectful thing, but I guess it kind of is, because it's like, it can come across as that's what you're after. And a huge, huge red flag for us is if we can determine or not, or if we feel like you are just a picture hunter or people that are just after pictures. Gives us the heebie-jeebies and we get the fuck out of there. I will like not even respond. I'll just like stop. And that might not be the best way to go, because maybe we need to educate these fuckers that are truly just after free content. But regardless, it's almost like one is okay, but one is not. But they're really, again, they're the same thing, but one is done in a politer way, even though the end goal for that particular individual could be the same, of just getting free content. But I don't know. I guess it kind of goes back to, it's all about how you frame it, right? Like you can insult the fuck out of someone, but if you frame it just right, they're not going to take it that way. They're going to take it like, oh, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. Like it's all about how you frame it. If you send me like a message, say, here's a dick pic, can I see yours too? I'm going to be like, block. But if you can frame it in a way that is like, hey, I'm going to send you a dick pic, or can I send you a dick pic? Then I'll be a lot more subjective, because then at least just by asking, it's almost like you're thinking of me and trying not to annoy me, and you're not putting yourself first. So I don't know. I appreciate those. And I don't know. It's just when it comes to pictures, for us at least, some people might be different, but for us, don't ever ask for those. Just wait. Wait for people to get comfortable enough with you to just want to send those to you. I mean, it's pretty simple, I feel like. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Don't forget to check out altplayground.net. They've got a lot of exciting things going on, including a cross trip with, a cross-country trip with Brian and Brenna from Front Porch Swingers. That's going to be fucking awesome. We're pumped. I think we're going to try to meet them on the way. Who knows? We are just going to pay attention to their travel schedule and try to make a meet and greet. And then also, when it comes to membership on Alt Playground, Love Voodoo members, you have a trial member. So if you're listening, check your emails, sign up for altplayground.net. We hope you'll love it, because we do. And merch. Do not forget about merch. Buy some. Show us that you're either wearing it or whatever, and we will do our best to feature you on the podcast. And then follow us on social media at TNR Podcasts. That's plural. And sorry about our merch. That is fullswapshop.com. And so check it out. Follow us on social media at TNR Podcasts. That's plural. And if you want to be so nice as to send Kelley a, hey, we're thinking of you type of message, please do so. And for those of you who already have, you know who you are. and just know that we really appreciate it. So anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we hope you guys have a good week and a good weekend.